So now that you've kind of settled in-house at eDiscovery, how are you looking at kind of tool stack management? How do you organize all of those pieces of the VR set?
Is looking at the model and thinking about, okay, what technology do we currently use for these tasks? Is there a better technology out there? We currently use vendors to host all of our data. It would be great if we could bring that in house and not have to rely on a vendor, or maybe we only rely on a vendor for bigger matters. We're limited as far as what we could do with the day to day tasks that come with all of that. But if we could host it all ourselves, there is less risk to our data. We're not transferring it out again with the efficiencies. And then the biggest one is going to be the cost savings to the company, which is a big focus.
And speaking of vendors, since you have to rely on outside resources, I'm sure you inherited some in your role. How did you go through the process of evaluation?
So again, just coming in, everything was new to me. I made a list of all the vendors and what they're doing. I will say, coming from a large law firm and having been in the e-discovery space for so long prior to coming in house, I knew most of the big vendors and had worked with them. So I think that helps you because you're not hearing names for the first time. And so the vendors that we had in place are vendors I'd all worked with previously. And I, again, observed, making notes of what could be done better, what's being done really well. Those were the things that I did for those first few months. The issue for us is we don't want our data with so many different vendors, right? So we really want to try
Yeah.
to limit
Yeah.
vendors we have. And so it's just been looking at the current contracts, the current vendors, and see what's working and what's not. And coming back to the cost savings, which I think I've said a lot, but it is a big focus of a company. And just because someone can do it cheaper doesn't mean they can do it better. So you really want to make sure that you are going to be working with a vendor who's reputable and will give you the work product
So if you decide it's time to change, Stephanie, what are you looking for? What are you looking for in a vendor from a service and technology perspective?
I'm huge on accountability, not just professionally, but personally, right? And so here I will give a little praise to Level Legal. We mentioned at the beginning of the call that we worked together for years now. And when I was over at Wilmer, I remember when I came off Texas and I met with Daniel and one of his colleagues, Roberta, and they just clearly laid out their process. They told me everything up front, what they needed from me, what their timelines would be, what they needed to be able to give us cost projections. And they lived by those estimates and those timelines and they delivered quality work. I can't say enough good things about them. That's my plug, but we'll leave it at that.
I appreciate you sharing. What else are you looking for, Stephanie, if it's time to change?
My biggest thing is collaboration. You want to be able to work with a vendor who will work with you, right? Listen to your concerns and then be innovative and think of ways that they can solve your issues or work with you to maybe better improve the process. I think experience is huge. You're generally not going to go with a vendor who's not well known in the space for better or worse, right? Reputation means something. And then a big thing you think about is going to be cost savings. I'm not going to say cost savings would make you go with a one vendor over another, but you definitely consider it for sure.
What makes the data hosting vendor stand out?
I would say cost is going to come into play when it comes to that, as far as actually just hosting the data and processing the data. But I also think someone who is willing to offer solutions, right? Like what will work for you as a company, someone who is willing to really dig in and think outside the box, offer solutions that you hadn't thought about that would really make a difference to you, your team, your bills.
I believe I'd like to hear your thoughts here. My clients are begging for somebody to be bold and make recommendations and get creative and help solve problems, not just wait to be told how to get from A to B. Does that resonate with you?
It does. I think the problem is everyone's issues are different. So you can't offer like a one stop shopping solution. It really depends on the specifics of what you're dealing with. For me, it's just about the collaboration. You need to be able to talk openly with the person you're working with, whether it's a vendor, it's a client, it's your outside counsel, it's your in-house counsel. Just be honest about what it is you want, what you're looking for, what you're willing to spend, or how you need to make it work, and how do you get there. I'm not shy about what I don't know. I'm not shy about asking for help when I think I need it. And again, I think if you have a network of people that you can reach out to give you input, to help you, it only makes you look better.